Nick, are you done fixing your hair?
Well, it's a little messy.
Can we do this thing?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's jump into it. This is just two camera guys. We're doing something a little bit different today. We are calling this the PSA, which we're dubbing probably summaries and advice.
it's so different because normally it's the two of us here talking, and this time it's
the two of us here talking. What we're going to try and do different here is we're going to make these things a little bit shorter, and we're going to cover like one real topic real quick, and try to go over sort of like if it's a summary. So if there's new gear out, you've probably seen 15 videos about that new gear. So we're going to watch the videos and come up with our own little summary about the gear, or even about the videos too. Like this guy did a terrible job.
Well, basically we're going to do prep, which is what makes it different.
Yeah. The other thing we talked about was advice, because when we were talking about it, it was like a little bit of like, well, is this advice on like what to buy? And then we sort of stretched it out further. So for our first topic that we're going to cover tonight, which I think actually follows more in the advice line, I was watching a video, I can't remember which one it was, but they were talking about a 28 millimeter lens, and they called it quote unquote a weird lens.
Now,
length.
who called the manufacturer called it weird?
No, the person reviewing it. I think it might have been Jared Poland, to be honest. But the thing is like, I know I have like heard like a lens length and have been like, oh, that's like a weird.
So I didn't see this video. Were they referring to the focal length, or it had some funky feature about it?
The focal,
or what were they referring to as weird?
28 millimeters is a weird focal length. Why?
I've seen the 28 in the cinema kits. I'm sure I have. Maybe not all the time. It's been so long since I've worked on real movies.
Do you think it's fair to call a focal length weird?
Well, yeah. So I would call like a tilt shift lens weird. Those are little weird lenses. They do different
things. But not
things.
the focal length.
I would call,
just a regular 28
I would call
millimeter lens.
Like an 8 mil, I would call weird. Super fisheye. I'd say that's a little weird.
Yeah, but again, you're dealing with the effect, not the actual focal length.
A 28.
So given the option, if you could buy a 24 millimeter lens or a 28, which one would you buy?
Well, I'd go 24 because your natural progression would be 35 next. So unless you had a very specific need for it, yeah, I'd just go 24.
Is that what makes it weird?
But now that I'm thinking about it, okay, so let's think about this way then. You could go, because 24 is not that wide. Normally you'd go 16 to get your actual wide. So you could go 28 and you'd skip your 24 and 35 and then be able to go straight to 50.
So then maybe it's not that weird.
Yeah, you'd be able to kind of get a 2-for-1.
Yeah. But like, should we at any point call a focal length weird? Is that a fair thing to say, or is it totally unjust?
It's fair, but I don't know if it's fair with the 28. Now, Poland probably had a good reason for saying it, or he was being funny, which could have been it too.
It was kind of like a sleight of hand thing, and that's kind of how I feel it comes out all the time.
But yeah, I kind of like the idea. Now I'm thinking about it. It would be almost a 2-for-1 lens.
I think it's unjust to call it weird, just strictly because of the focal length. It sounds funny to me. Now, if it's doing some effect like a tilt shift or a fisheye, like you had said, yeah, it's a bit of a weird lens. But just because the focal length, no.